market. It's just barely less than 2%, 1.6%. It's tiny also. For us to be able to do 3% of the regular debt market, we're going to put to cook what at least 800 billion on the table. So whichever way, we will be able to sustain it, and the risks they are limited, they are manageable to a very large extent. Thank you, sir. For the second question, maybe I'll try to take that. Yeah, I mean, if I get a question right, you don't have to be a Muslim to do non-interest finance. Is that the question? Oh, okay, no. So in an investment bank, not just financial institution, you don't, to do any business, just walk in and then we'll get started. In a conventional bank, you want to see your cash over a period of time. But because investment banks are not particularly banks, it means that we can rely on your cash flow from other banks. Just show evidence that you have 3 banks account and you have good cash flow. On the basis of that, we will do business. But should I tell you the most important thing? Yes, if you have some off-takers, it can be fantastic. Some. I will always go for even 40%. 40% will be fair enough to allow us to say, okay, these 40% off-takers you have, let's acquire them, without you having an account, and we'll get started. But like I mentioned earlier on, can you imagine if I have to buy some of your assets off plan? That's still a lot. So it gets into your position, it's not interest-based. So everybody's happy at the end of the day. So the answer is, no, you don't have to open an account in an investment bank. Yes, you have to open an account in a non-interest bank that is commercial. Yeah. So what I was telling you was open an account. But where we don't have adequate assets on the table, and we see 50 off-takers from a particular institution, we just say, don't bother opening an account. We can do that. We can just deal. Don't forget now that there is rate of offset. If you don't pay from this account, you can take the money from other accounts. That works. So most of the time, people have started to reduce the account opening thing. And more importantly also, if you work for any of the federal agencies or government as a whole, it's almost impossible to go and open new account for a salary especially. So we just say, don't worry, we'll use whatever account that you have got. You can run with it. So even under Islamic or non-interest commercial banks, we are able to deal without you opening new accounts. Thanks.
Okay, so I think the question he asked to build on what Dr. Bashir has just said, I think it has to go to the skill sets of the developers. You don't just know how to build houses. We also need to have to develop skills on how to sell houses, how to build the pipeline of offtake. So even before going to a new project, you will have seen the market. Who are you building for? What can they afford? To ensure that your product is matched, by offtake, or at least a plausible set of off-takers. If you are building houses 20 million and below, we know that any federal ministry, civil servant, public servant can afford it and is backed by Federal Mortgage Bank. So we are not going to use these sukuk funds to be building houses of 500 million, for example. As a rule, it's going to be an average ticket price that is affordable and is going to be easily taken. And I'm sure Dr. Bashir will ensure that those 30%, 40% offtake is already secured. You're already talking to a bunch of people that can afford these houses, that have shown interest, and have probably dropped, before he comes in with the huge finance, to finance us to build, so that you will not end up, using the money to build the houses and there are no off-takers. In that way, you can't pay back the sukuk investors, and then there's a problem.
Very much. I think one of the innovations which we have here is the relationship between the traditional institutions and the non-interest banking institutions, particularly when you have FMBN being now able to work with these institutions as well as the regular commercial banks. I believe that is an area that we need to deepen. Yes, you still want to say something? Right. Thank you.
No, sir, that's fine, bro.
Yeah, there was a point regarding the flow of funds coming from the financing entity. If the mandate change will have to take place. Yes, the road. Let's be secure that we remember that the institution will actually get that back.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think there has been a very interesting discussion. I believe all of you must have learned one or two things, and we hope that this can continue. Maybe in the next program of this housing financing. I hope that we can do more in the traditional area, because I think we still have a lot of problems. Because of the COVID, the question of the fluctuation of the naira has come in, which makes it much more difficult, even for the traditional institutions, to borrow from the multilateral institutions like the African Development Bank, even like Church Afrique. So we would like to encourage that they use naira-denominated issues. Those options are there. In the case of, say, Church Afrique, they are willing to have naira-denominated bonds, and then you can have access to that rather than getting lines of credit, because those lines of credit are denominated in the US dollars. Most of the banks are not able, to be able to access this. And I believe these are new innovations which we need to piggyback on and make sure that housing financing can be given more impetus in the near future. With that, I say thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. God bless you.
We want to thank every one of us for taking our time to participate in this technical session. We are running off today, and tomorrow is another day. For tomorrow's program, there is supposed to be another technical session that is supposed to take place right now, but because the time has been fast spent, we won't be able to take that. We will be taking that first thing tomorrow by 10 a.m. 10 a.m. prompt, we are starting tomorrow. And we hope that we'll be able to, do justice to whatever we have to do. And we are aware that some of us might be hungry. If you have registered for this program, when you walk out from the hall, there's a road by the left-hand side. Just walk down, straight down. You will see a restaurant there where you can have your lunch if you have registered. But if you didn't register properly for this program, you may not be able to partake of the lunch. So if you register properly, please, you can go and have your lunch. The foods are there waiting for you. Once again, we thank each and every one of us for taking our time to be part of this technical session. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Nice evening.
Thank you, everyone. The first session tomorrow will be on 3D animation for affordable housing delivery, and that is powered by Lafarge. For those of you thinking of building houses with the new innovation, this will be necessary for you to attend. 10 a.m. tomorrow, the first session will focus on the 3D affordable housing. All other members, all serious estate developers are pleased encourage our CEO to join the session. Thank you, sir. Shut up.
Construction industry. Over 200 CEOs in real estate, mortgage housing finance, construction companies, and professional institutions will focus on Are you a chief executive officer within the real estate, mortgage, building materials and construction industry? Then the Abuja International Housing Show CEOs Forum, a gathering of high-profile professionals who are founders and business owners, has a slot for you. The all-important CEOs Forum, which will hold at the International Conference Center Abuja between July 26 and 29, 2021, is a convergence of elite chief executives from Nigeria and across the world to devise most effective solutions to challenges in the housing and construction industry. Over 200 CEOs in real estate, mortgage, housing finance, construction companies, and professional institutions will focus on the macroeconomic and socio-political environment impact of the real estate market. This collaborative and supportive forum will also give you an opportunity to present and discuss challenges facing your organization, seek the way forward, and click in high-level business network relations. For further information, visit www.ihsabuja.com or send an email to abujahousingshow@gmail.com. Are you a chief executive officer within the real estate, mortgage, building materials and construction industry? Then the Abuja International Housing Show CEOs Forum, a gathering of high-profile professionals who are founders and business owners, has a slot for you. The all-important CEOs Forum, which will hold at the International Conference Center Abuja between July 26 and 29, 2021, is a convergence of elite chief executives from Nigeria and across the world to devise most effective solutions to challenges in the housing and construction industry. Over 200 CEOs in real estate, mortgage, housing finance, construction companies, and professional institutions will focus on the macroeconomic and socio-political environment impact of the real estate market. This collaborative and supportive forum will also give you an opportunity to present and discuss challenges facing your organization, seek the way forward, and click in high-level business network relations. For further information, visit www.ihsabuja.com or send an email to abujahousingshow@gmail.com.